Well, President Trump is saying in a meeting with reporters ahead of the Super Bowl that he will announce reciprocal tariffs this week, as well as levies on steel and aluminum. Let's take a listen.
I'll be announcing probably Tuesday or Wednesday at a news conference reciprocal tariffs, and very simply, it's if they charge us, we charge them. We'll also be announcing steel tariffs on Monday. Any steel coming into the United States is going to have a 25% tariff.
What about aluminum, sir?
Aluminum too.
Joining us now, we want to bring in Nazak Nikakhtar, a partner at Wiley Law and former Assistant Commerce Secretary under President Trump. It's great to have you back here. Nazak, let's talk about some of the rhetoric coming from President Trump and his administration, obviously not backing down on that trade agenda that he laid out numerous times on the campaign trail. How do you see this playing out and what's ahead?
Yeah, hi, great to be with you. The president is making good. I mean, he, on his campaign trail, he vowed over and over again to impose tariffs on a wide range of U.S. imported goods into the United States, including steel and aluminum. And remember, from his first administration, he had imposed tariffs because of massive overcapacity. Overcapacity hasn't gone away, even though the Biden administration rolled back some of those import restrictions. So President Trump is back in the office, understands that overcapacity has not gone away, and is reimposing those tariffs where have been rolled back.
And so what is the pass-through economically here? What should the U.S. be expecting as these tariffs and a tit for tat is likely to also be expected on the back end of that?
Yeah, I mean, it's fascinating. When economists traditionally assume, I'm an economist too, they traditionally assume a pass-through, a full pass-through. But just a couple of years ago, the U.S. International Trade Commission conducted a study of President Trump's 232 tariffs, including the additional 301 tariffs, and found that the impact on inflation was infinitesimal, if anything at all. So we're finding that the producers or importers are not passing through the full cost of the tariffs. And in many instances, China, remember, it's all China's source of overcapacity. China's been dropping prices so as to not displace itself from U.S. markets.
And so after that, the enforcement of whatever deal is netted out here, how swiftly do we ultimately start to see some of the elements of whatever that deal was? Because we had a deal that was on the table right before COVID between the U.S. and China, but because of the pandemic, actually kind of following through on that became a little bit more of a gray area.
Yeah, so the key aspect of the analysis for the Trump administration and what they've been analyzing over the last few weeks is twofold, right? The volume that's coming into the United States and the prices of the steel and aluminum that's coming into the United States. And to the extent that those are distorted, the volumes are high, the prices continue to be low, that's weakening the domestic industry, right? And these are not just low prices because foreign producers are more efficient. These are anti-competitive, distortive low prices. So they're going to be looking at, and then they've calibrated, as before, we took many measures and used economic modeling to calibrate the appropriate level of tariffs to have the maximum impact on addressing overcapacity while minimizing the impact on U.S. consumers. They're doing that again, I am certain.
Have we only seen a very small part of his trade agenda, do you think, so far?
This is a core centerpiece of his trade agenda. And as the president mentioned on the plane, too, the notion of non-reciprocal trade is a huge irritant to him. And it's not always about tariffs, right? It's about non-market access, non-market barriers. The USTR conducts studies every year about foreign countries' unfair trading practices. And so to the extent that the president wants to address this big irritant of non-reciprocal unfair trade, he has plenty of ammunition through the USTR's, United States Trade Representatives' annual studies to tackle that. I have no doubt in my mind that he's going to be tackling that next because he's been singularly focused on the imbalance in trade caused by unfair non-reciprocal trading practices by U.S.'s trading partners.